I have an opening statement which will be distributed to you. It's already on your WhatsApp. I will read the statement and then take questions. My colleague Randeep will say a few words in Hindi and take the questions in Hindi. The Finance Minister flattered me by quoting the same couplet from Thirukkural that I had recited in one of my early budget speeches. Maybe she had not been instructed by her staff that this kural has already been used in the budget speeches. She flattered only to deceive. She deceived the people of India, especially the poor, the working class, the migrants, the farmers, the industrial units that had been closed down permanently, and those who had lost their jobs, both regular and informal, and are still looking for jobs. She deceived those who were listening to her speech, especially the members of parliament, who had no clue that she had imposed cesses on a large number of products, including petroleum and diesel. Rupees 2.5 on petrol per litre and rupees 4 on diesel per litre is a cruel blow to the average citizen, including the farmers. It was a vengeful act against the thousands of farmers who took out the longest tractor rally in history. It was also a cruel blow to federalism because the states do not get a share of the revenue from cesses. There are other important matters that the FM did not mention in her speech. For example, she did not mention defense at all, as if the Chinese had vacated occupied Indian territory. She did not mention that defense expenditure in 2021-22 will see no rise. It is flat at rupees 3,47,088 crore, almost the same as the rupees 3,43,822 crore in the current year. The FM gave out a mind-boggling figure of rupees 2,23,846 crore for health, a breathtaking rise from the BE of the current year of rupees 94,452 crore. As I had warned, it was a conjurer's trick. She added the one-time cost of vaccination, rupees 35,000 crore, and, mark this, and the Finance Commission grants amounting to rupees 49,214 crore. She also included the allocations to the Department of Water and Sanitation. Shorn of these add-ons, the allocations for health were rupees 72,934 crore in 2020-21 and rupees 79,602 crore in 21-22. Given inflation, the increase is practically nil. However, on page 10 of the budget at a glance, the two numbers are very different. They are rupees 82,445 crore and rupees 74,602 crore, which means a reduction in expenditure from the level in the current year. What kind of additional health infrastructure can be built with this parsimonious allocation? Hence, on the two non-negotiables that the Congress party had listed on 28th January at the press conference, namely defense expenditure and healthcare expenditure, the government has miserably failed the people of this country. The fiscal numbers show that the fiscal situation is in a mess. The revenue deficit, 7.5%, and the fiscal deficit, 9.5% in the current year, have exceeded every prediction, including the government's prediction. In 2021-22, the government estimates it will borrow about rupees 3.42 lakh crore less, but nobody is willing to believe the government. The borrowing number has been understated by assuming that there will be disinvestment revenues of rupees 1.75 lakh crore. The record of this government on disinvestment is poor. The government has also assumed that tax revenues will increase by 15%, another questionable assumption. The revenue deficit, 5.1%, and fiscal deficit, 6.8% numbers for 21-22 will send alarm signals to the rest of the world, especially the investors and international lenders. Their apprehensions should have been allayed by laying out a credible fiscal correction path year by year until the year when the fiscal deficit will be 3% or less. Nothing of that sort was attempted by the FM. On the contrary, her target was 4.5% by 2025-26. Investors and lenders will bristle. There was a huge expectation that there will be a significant increase in government expenditure to offset sluggish private investment and private consumption. The numbers show the total government expenditure will see a paltry rise from rupees 34 lakh 50,000 crore to rupees 34 lakh 83,000 crore, an increase of barely 33,000 crore. The farm sector has been shortchanged. The budget allocation for agriculture and allied activities has been reduced, I repeat, reduced from 1,54,775 crore in the BE of the current year to rupees 1,48,301 crore in the BE of the next year. Of total expenditure, the proportion has been reduced, I repeat, reduced from 5.1% to 4.3%. The budget allocation for market intervention scheme and price support scheme has been slashed from 2,000 crore rupees to 1,501 crore rupees. The budget allocation for PM Kisan Samman Nidhi has been reduced from 75,000 crore rupees to 65,000 crore rupees. MSMEs were dismissed in one sentence, an allocation of 15,700 crore. This is like providing a fistful of votes to a hungry elephant. Nothing was mentioned about providing liberal, low-interest loans, working capital, or moratorium. Nothing will be done to revive closed units or to recover the millions of jobs that were lost. The FM seems to be unaware that thousands of MSMEs, especially micro and small units, have been closed permanently. A meager sum of rupees 20,000 crore has been set apart for recapitalization of public sector banks when the requirement is several times more. At the same time, the government intends to privatize 2 PSBs. The intent of the government is clear. Let the PSBs bleed slowly so that they can all be privatized in the short term. Let us see the reaction of the public to this unconcealed desire to sell off all public sector banks. The tax reliefs and the tweaking of provisions of the tax laws completely bypassed the tax-paying working class and the tax-paying middle class. Each one of the measures announced by the FM will benefit only the taxpayers among the richer classes. There was no cut in GST rates. The mess of multiple rates remains. The saga of protectionism continues. Customs duties have been increased on a number of items in the wrong belief that a stiffer dose of protectionism will help Indian industry. As expected, the Finance Minister has paid special attention to election-bound states. She announced large capital outlays, let me repeat that word, outlays, for Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal and Assam. People are not fools. They know that the proposals are only outlays and the actual expenditure will happen only after the schemes are approved and over a period of several years, depending upon the pace of implementation. On the 10-point test that we had suggested on 28 January, the budget fails on points 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It barely passes on point 5. The FM had promised a budget like never before. Her mandate was to present an annual statement of revenue and expenditure for 21-22. What she did, however, was to estimate expenditure over 2 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, and in one case, over 5 years. She made a reference to the Honorable Prime Minister 14 times and to the farmers 11 times. A good 40 minutes before she read paragraph 141 of her speech, Bloomberg put out the fiscal deficit and RD numbers for 2020-21. Since the CBI and Enforcement Directorate are underworked, maybe this matter should be referred to them. The budget was a letdown like never before. It was not a budget like never before. It was a letdown like never before. The budget, like the previous one, will unravel sooner than you think. Thank you.
Subscribe to Nation Next YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get regular updates from Nation Next. Also like Nation Next Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.